Tell you that.
What's
Yeah.
It's showtime.
And
Unwrapped. Here we go. Buenos días. Let's go. Bonjour. Hola, ¿cómo estás? And I'm going to say, mijo, now, how's everybody doing? Good morning. Yes, people, I just drank my Bustelo. So this is the reason why I'm actually happy. I am happy. I just got some news, and it's not stock news. I'm gonna tell you right now. I got.
oh, look! I got a guess. Come say hello, look, guys. I got a guess.
Damn,
I got a guess on Facebook. Look who's that?
Oh my God! Look at this guy.
I'm still around.
Yo, Alex. What's up, bro?
Put him on speaker.
He's
Lord.
just dropping back.
It's been a long time.
Yes.
All right.
Good
What's
morning.
going
Good morning,
on?
Kika.
Good morning. I'll tell you, it's been a real good morning. I still have that sugar high from yesterday. Yesterday's event was phenomenal. And I'm telling you, I woke up, I said I needed some Bustelo, and hence the reason why everybody now knows how I'm hyper. Because I always drink my Bustelo. I needed to have it, whether it's tea version or coffee version. There's no such thing as tea version. But
Actually, there is more caffeine on tea, but yeah, go ahead.
You're right. Let's just add some more honey to it, right? So
yesterday, 2023 takeover by
I think we
Really
took it
Still
over.
Unwrapped. I'm like, it was.
I think we took it over.
Do
All
we
I
have
to
some
say is-
good pictures to share with anybody?
I know we got
got some
pictures. I know
from
we
my
got videos, but
photographer.
I just know that the set off on a takeover was set off with Ed and his portion of why and the mindset. Everybody's portions mindset was blown. You know, we actually set that off. We had the crew, we had the people there, we had over 80 people there, just getting their sets in their motion in the sense of going, you know what, I need to do this to get to this as soon as this.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And the I can, I will, and I must be the number one agent in my own mind and in my own teams. All right, is the mindset that most people should have had in that entire process. And of course, Gigi, your portion was amazing too. I mean, honestly, from going to the point of what you needed to do. I mean, honestly, everybody was in it. Everybody was feeling it. What they needed to do to get to that level. What they needed to get to the winter of Oz. You know, winter is coming, but we will treat winter like summer and actually make more money like a summer day. So you got to understand that Gigi was actually providing not only the CE portion of it, which I'm sure she's tired. She had a lot of water. She actually had a lot of conversations to provide, but at the same time, she was actually providing everybody with what you need to do to prospect, to filter, to purge, to organize your list in order for you to be the number one agent in your mind, your team, and your organization. What do you guys think about this beautiful event we had yesterday?
Killed it. There was nothing but positive feedback that I was getting from the event, man. They were loving the motivation. They were loving the action plan. They were loving the tracking format. I mean, everything, bro. I think we literally put it together and the way it should have been done. And I hope you folks don't just leave it there, because if you're not practicing what you learned, I'll tell you right now, after 72 hours, it's gone with the wind. After 72 hours, this whole 2023 takeover will turn into just another day. And that's not what we want to do. All right. We want to make sure that we lead with the emotions, that we make it happen. Right. Boom, Brian said. Let's go, Brian. All right.
Yeah, I'm going to.
It was fire.
It was Brian.
And I had a good time. And then Agent Ted showed up out of nowhere. And I was like, what the
Oh my God.
Like, yo, this guy is bugging.
You saw that? I was wondering what the hell is he doing here.
I was like, Agent Ted, man. When was
He showed up late.
Ted, yeah.
He showed up, and then he wanted us to. He said,
actually,
obviously, you gotta love thy. What did he say? Obviously, love thy customers or clients.
Oh my God,
Oh,
it's
right.
old car.
That's how we define old car. I mean, we must love our clients, right? We must love them. It's obvious, but That's definitely not what old car stands for.
I am going to add I think I'm going to add the photos. I'm just working a little bit on I'm going to work a little bit on our.
But while you're doing that, we also want to thank real quick while we're here all the sponsors that were there as well. Thank you for taking the time, for coming out there early enough to actually show us love, and we showed you love as well. So thank you for doing that, and we appreciate everyone for being there as well.
Yeah,
100%, man. Appreciate you guys.
So I'm going to add. I'm going to share our screen. I'm just going to do a little something. We had close to 100 people in attendance.
Oh, I love it.
I want to upload a photo, which is kind of cool, to show you the size of that room. We had a nice continental breakfast that was offered to everyone. That was nice. I think the Adria Hotel did what they needed to do, that was pretty good. I'm not on the front. I was very happy with the service. They really improved the way they organize those things. Here you go.
I'm still waiting for the eggs and bacon I was asking for, but it's okay. No one. I said I need eggs and bacon.
You're silly, man. All right.
Can't hear you, Ed.
Oh, where is it?
I was talking on the low. I didn't even realize it.
On the low. All right.
I never had blueberry bagels before, and they had blueberry bagels.
Oh my God, delicious!
Delicious. Let me share that.
Yo, but Brian had a point right here. Boom, great event. Don't miss the next one. If you missed this last one, I feel sorry for you folks, but definitely don't miss the next one.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, let me add this. Oh, did you see? Let me move to the next photo. Boom! Look at that. Damn. If you can you see? Can you see all those people? And I was just some of them are probably at the back. I probably should put more photos. So you had a really attentive, well-attended room. And thank you so much for all the sponsors that were helping us with that. It's probably smaller to a lot of guys. It's like having 100 agents in the room. And the beauty was really like the cherry on top, the credits, like being able to be awarded CE credits on our little meek business planning event. It was really great. I do want to thank the agents that also came, not only from our brokerages, but from other brokerages. And I do want to thank them for coming, and they did thank us as well. And Israel, I haven't shared that with you yet because I was just talking to Ed a little bit before. You know what was great? That our format of agents helping agents, the no pressure to be sold anything, was really welcome. So for all agents out there, like we had agents on Voro from WinZone coming to me. Those are 100% companies, and said nobody tried to sell us anything. We felt there was no pressure, and we want more of that. The guys have like this great knowledge, and it's so nice that you can share. Absolutely. And sometimes it's just about that. It's not about money. It's not about who gets who. It's just about making this industry better. That's all it is, in my humble opinion.
Honestly, I like what you said there. Go ahead, Ace. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah. Please. Go ahead.
So what I was just going to add to that was, at the end of the day, right, we're all a part of this organization. We're all a part of LIBOR, right? And quite frankly, in my opinion, we should be looking at it as a brother or a sisterhood, regardless of who you sign up with, regardless of what brokerage you're with. It doesn't matter. That part doesn't matter. What we need to do is learn how to work together, because the better we work together, the more deals we're going to make. The more deals we make, the more happier clients we have, and the happier the clients are, the more we get paid.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Can you believe?
I was going to say, honestly, you said it best, Ed, because I'm just going to piggyback on that, is that we're in this just for collaboration. It's all about collaborating with each other.
It should be.
Right? It's all about agents trying to help their agents. We're not trying to sell you our brokerage. It's just trying to get you to that next level. And if we can do it in every little inch, every little percentage, then let's do it. Let's do it all together. I'm sure
we can. Like for me, I feel like if we can raise the bar of the perception that the public has of real estate agents, and it's really sad when you look at all the statistics that we are the least trusted after politicians and used car salespeople.
What? Hold on. Where's that statistic? Because there's no way.
National Association of Realtors, they are.
There's no way you folks trust politicians or car salesmen before you trust the real estate agent.
No, they don't trust politicians. They don't trust used car salesperson, and a lot of people don't trust real estate agents. And it's like, oh my God. And to just change, and that's why we're doing Real Estate Unwrapped, just to change the perception of what this industry is all about. Yeah.
Well, let me do this quick public service announcement. Thank you for your support and trust in me with all your real estate needs. That's all I have to say.
Yes. Yeah. But so every little bit we can churn away and just make this industry better, make this industry more ethical in every way, us collaborating, us all agents, agent population, the agent tribe, just helping one another. That's where we can take in our little part of the world. That's where we can make things better for all of us. And that's all. This is it. I don't want to sound like a big humanitarian, but it would help everybody make more transactions, have 100% repeat referrals, having people wanting to. And if it doesn't benefit me, I want it to benefit others. And if the perception is better, it will benefit me in the end.
Yeah, I agree. 1,000%.
Yeah. So yes, those events are just designed for that. And if anybody else wants to is thinking of it in a different manner, too bad, and we'd love to associate, with the great partners we had, like the home team. Thank you for being there and just being a presence all the time and helping and giving us training as well. Bridget with the inspection boys and the success. I don't want to butcher the name
Main
of
Street,
her.
Main Street Success.
Main Street Success, yeah.
Real estate school and giving credits. Amazing people, amazing. Jonathan
and they
Roman,
did a raffle.
Yeah, they did a raffle. Jonathan Roman, new attorney. I can't wait. For me, new attorney, can't wait to have a relationship with him and do some deals. What was the name of the credit repair person? Which was, I want to give everybody a shout out.
Lyle. I'm gonna butcher
Dardashian. No, it's Dardashian. There you go. I got it. Boom.
Not Kardashian.
Not Kardashian.
Dardashian.
I wanted to.
He's from Deluxe Credits.
Correct.
Yeah.
The Solutions. Very good guy.
And then Priya from PNG Insurance was not there, and I think we can all pray for our dad's passing. Her dad passed yesterday, the day before yesterday. Yeah. So unfortunately, she could not be there. But thank you so much for sponsoring this event, and it's our prayers are with her. Okay, hold on a second. I just need to tell someone that I'm live.
Yo, G,
but it's all good. I mean, honestly.
You're going to have to send me these photos. I want these photos.
Oh, those are from my phone. Yeah, I will definitely send you those photos. Yeah.
All the photos.
Yeah. I'll share everything. I'll put everything in on our text. Yeah. So
somebody had said that sorry couldn't make it. And I'm sorry.
You should be sorry.
I'm sorry you couldn't make. I'm sorry you couldn't make it.
You couldn't make it. Yeah.
It's all right. Yeah. We'll see you on the next one.
Yeah.
Make sure to plug in.
Let me see who it was. Let me go on my social media and see if it's somebody from our group. Oh my God! Now we have so many platforms. It's very hard to see.
Well, that's why we need to funnel to one. We need to funnel to one.
I know, but we have. Thank you, Elena, for punching in.
It's Elena. We missed you yesterday, yo. I was hoping to see you there.
Yeah, right.
Okay, we'll see you on the next one.
Who's this? I need his contacts. Have a lot of work for them. Who's that?
Oh yeah, that's Elena. Elena had a morning bar mitzvah. She really could not, get away from. I know she tried. And then
got it.
Thank you, Juan. Wow, we have a lot of comments from pretty much a lot of people.
Oh
Thank
man,
you, guys.
Juan was awesome in there. Jeez,
Juan is always
good
awesome.
participant, great
Yo.
participant on there.
Yeah.
Yo,
And,
Juan,
he was my MVP in that whole entire process. He was my MVP.
Okay, all right. We'll vote. Yes. There was one part, and this is the topic today. I know guys, I'm going to admit I forced it on my partners today. I apologize. But there is a part of the CE requirements we could not get to because we were short on time and we had so much fun. And I know I forced it on you guys today. So sorry. Next time you have all the right to choose whatever topic you want. So we never covered the do not break the law section of our little CE requirements. So nobody's going to get accredited today, but at least you get a few minutes of what we were going to discuss about not breaking the law. Does that work for you guys?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and I just want to hear your opinion. So first of all, we just narrowed down to 10 things that I could either jeopardize, and I don't want to sound negative, either jeopardize your license or put you in trouble with the Department of State or Real Estate Commission. And this is across the board all over America, okay? So first one, and everybody should know that, let's not even mingle with funds. Let's not do sloppy bookkeeping. Let's not borrow money from clients' funds. I know in New York, we are an attorney state and no one can, when it comes to sales, all the money is in escrow. But upstate and other states, agents are actually a big part of the real estate transaction when we get into contract. And things could be sloppy. I think on our end, it could get sloppy when you're doing a rental, right? Somebody wants to give out a deposit to secure the rental. If it's in cash, don't keep the cash. Don't put it in your pocket, right? Don't put it in the care of your broker. Ask the potential tenant to even send you a check made out to the seller, or definitely made out to the seller, not your name. Don't mingle with funds. It could be very costly.
When I read all this, I honestly think there's remedies for everything, and then folks should really pay attention to it, right? Shuffling funds. I mean, honestly, to me, it sounds like, honestly, you're taking that money, you're putting it into yours, and then all of a sudden you give it to brokerage. That's commingling. We're not allowed to do that at any point. So when thinking about that, again, the way to handle that, to remedy that really quick, is just make sure that the company's name's on there, and you're doing it as either a certified check or money order. That's it.
Right.
Call it a day, move on forward, right? Now, sloppy bookkeeping. Honestly, look, this is not for everyone.
No, right. That's for the broker. Yeah.
For the broker. If you're not great, there's a lot of Excel spreadsheets.
Companies that could do that for you.
Right. There's a lot of accountants out there. You don't need to pull out your pen and paper. Just hire the right people. There's cheap ones and there's expensive ones. Just hire the ones that will definitely get you to that next, point of making sure that even for that coffee that you just had, to the point of that lunch that you just went to, okay, or even a sponsorship that you just did, just have the right bookkeeping. Call those guys. Put them on your retainer. They'll definitely save you thousands of dollars and even jail time versus actually having to be like, damn, what did I do on March? And it's already
Yeah. And you know what we're going to discuss here, I'm gearing it towards agents, but it's important for the public. If anyone out there listening to us is not a real estate agent, it's very important that you need to know that some practices are really illegal. Unfortunately, the public doesn't really know, and they have ways to protect themselves, thank God. You have attorneys and mediation and things like that. But they need to know some of the practices that are out there are completely illegal, more than unethical, illegal, and you should be aware of it. And again, this is us just trying to make this industry better. Nothing else. We don't want to just have this dark side and say, it's all negative. No. It's like, let's clear up the air. Let's make the consumer aware. All right, that's our public announcement of the day.
There you go.
The next one is, so this one has so many layers. I don't even want to, it could take like a day to discuss it. So misrepresentation. So representation is part of agency law. It's a huge component of what we do. And, and how you're going to disclose things, how you're going to keep confidentiality to your client, whether it's a buyer or seller, embellishing facts, embellishing even photography on listings, and lying, omitting. Like if you're going to omit a material defects on the house, like you're going to see, you cover up mold in the basement. Mold is very dangerous. We're not talking about mildew. We're talking about mold. And, like you've seen, like trying to cover up with painting over painting and putting stuff, and you seeing those, the dehumidifying machines, there is a problem in that basement. And if you're going to lie about it and saying, oh, it's fine, there is no water in that basement, there is absolutely no problem, you could be, as an agent, in trouble, right? Even to the point if your seller is trying to tell you to conceal those informations that could be damaging to the public, the buying public, even though you have to be loyal to that buyer, but if it's to the detriment of the public, you shouldn't be doing it. You should just walk away from that listing. That's my little take on it. You guys, back to you.
No, I mean, ultimately, I don't even want to go through it. Listen, if you get a listing, all right, you got to do the right thing. Imagine if your parents were buying that property and the agent is not disclosing this information. They buy the property, then they have to deal with all this stuff, right? So think of it the same way. And if you do something like that, honestly, I'm a firm believer in karma. You go ahead and you put bad energy out there, you're going to get it back. So don't do that, all right? If they're telling you not to do it, you have to let them know it's your job to disclose this information. If they still don't want you to do it, unfortunately, I know we don't like not taking listings, but it would probably be in your best interest not to take that listing if that's
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because what goes around comes around. It's all a matter of that. Yeah.
That's right. It's easier to walk away than just lose your license for,
whatever. But we get so hung up on this dollar amount. Sometimes, a lot of the times, we kill we kill the goose before we get the eggs.
Yeah.
And we count our dollar before we even have a closing, and that's where greed. It's always about greed. Greed gets into the equation, and it just messes up things.
For sure.
Oh, that's a big one. They probably are less and less now. It's really, I think a lot of brokers have lost their license and closed down. I can remember, I don't even want to name anyone. I remember in the 90s, this big franchise operation in Queens that used to do, they were in Richmond Hill. That's what I'm going to have to say.
That's it. I want to know who they are. Who are they?
They used to give out mortgages to just anyone. And
that sounds like 2008.
Late 90s, early 2000, everyone, you just come into this country, you have no job, it's fine. Get into those high-paying mortgages. They used to get even paid. They were intermingling the real estate, the mortgage, the insurance, the appraisal. Everybody was involved in it. It was a big mess. Everybody got paid, and now everybody's in jail.
AIG?
Huh?
AIG.
No, I'm not going to say it. The broker
we can't.
For those out there that are old brokers, I'm just going to say one thing. You guys don't know. The broker used to drive this big yellow Ferrari throughout Queens.
Now he drives a yellow cab?
Now he's wearing a jumpsuit or a big orange jumpsuit.
Oh, man. Poor thing.
It says Department of Correction on it.
Damn.
I know.
Poor thing.
So that's a no.
Yeah, mortgage fraud is scary. This one's too.
Yeah. And then once you do stuff like that, you definitely will lose your license. You losing your license if you had any criminal conviction. Anything like this, would your future in real estate is done. Okay. So I know it sounds horrible, but look, this is our livelihood. So just a reminder that do the right thing. Yeah.
And to me, I mean, think about it this way with this kind of, even these words here, thinking about it again, you're paying minimal fees, right, to keep your license. Whether you're paying it for the state license, that portion's minimal. When you're paying for your, your board, your MLS boards, that's somewhat minimal.
That's very minimal.
Somewhat minimal, if you think about it sometimes. But in that sense, right? If you look at it,
error on the mission is only
minimal, right?
It's minimal. 500. It's barely $500 a year. So please.
And all it's asking you to do, right, and throughout that course of the time that you're working in those minimal fees, is to cross your T's and dot your I's, right? Because criminal, in that sense, once you get caught, I mean, look, you're losing the opportunities to earn $10,000 or more. You're losing the opportunities to build, no matter what, a numerous amount of money, right? Just because you didn't know how to cross your I's or dot your T's. So that's crazy. I'd rather not have that on my list. I'd be scared to do that.
No, I know.
Yeah, for sure.
No, let's not scare the pants off of anyone. All right. Okay. Another one. That's a big one. Not cooperating with investors from the Department of State or Real Estate Board, or even your MLS board. Once you get investigated, after there is a complaint, usually from the public or several, and agents complaining, you're gonna have to open your book, and you'd better open them. So when you do this as a real estate agent or broker, because the broker is actually in charge of the agents in his office or her office, and you'd better have all your disclosures in order, right? There has to be records of it. We have to keep them 3 years. So this is just a reminder that we all need to, like all those agency disclosures, any type of contacts or small relationship we have with the public out there, keep track of all that. You don't have to actually keep all the paperwork itself. Just scan everything and do a agency disclosure folder. Just label it by name of the person, and that will save you a lot of headache. All right.
Definitely. And if you're a part of an office, chances are they already have a system in place where you can automatically upload these documents and then you save it on the cloud.
I would go further, right. I would save every single agency disclosure that was signed, because you never know. So
like
keep
the physical?
it for 3 years. No, you can scan it.
Oh. All right.
But you never know. You never know.
Yeah. Thank God for SkySlope.
Exactly. In other platforms, you never know. Somebody could be putting a complaint, or you may sometimes be accused wrongly, but it doesn't matter. You just keep it. Incompetence, and this goes back to being trained as an agent. Yes, sometimes you belong to a brokerage that doesn't offer you training, especially if it's I don't want to hate, but if it's 100%, if it's 100% company, what kind of training are you going to get? Right. If they're going to give you 100% of the commission. So you're going to have to go and find that training out there. I'm realizing that all the trainings we've been offering over the years, us as agents, even those that belong to companies that have a ton of training, still don't get it. It's not acquired. So incompetence, if you do, go ahead, Israel. I know you want to say something. If you
no, you're saying you're saying a lot of good things right now, and I don't want to be missed. But I think one of us has like they're barbering, or I hear some kind of machinery.
My bad. That they're mowing the lawns. My fault.
That's
me.
No,
you're saying a lot of good things. I'm saying that I don't want people to miss that. So
no, I know. So incompetence, like there is a lot of steps to follow, when we have a deal, and a lot of things we shouldn't do or say. So if you actually can't, do your job properly, if you're gonna ill advise the consumer, if you're gonna stir them in the wrong directions, or if you feel, sometimes you don't even know. I've seen agents that think they are doing the right thing and they're clueless. So just beware, just in case, if you're not sure, go contact your broker. They're always there to help you out. Obviously, they have more experience, and you don't want to hurt the consumer. That's in a nutshell that, and that's really a broad spectrum. And this is what could somewhat jeopardize your license or just put you in trouble. Because somebody might say, oh, I have a buyer's representative, what is it, one of those certification, and you could still be incompetent as a person. Sorry.
It happens.
Oh, and this one, I don't know if you guys want to take over this one, undisclosed dual agency. You know how many conversations I had with agents that would actually sell their own house and still would want to represent a buyer without disclosing to that buyer that the house they're selling was theirs, which puts you already in an agency disclosure, or any ties to anything. I mean, you're doing, if you're representing the seller, you're representing the seller. In New York State, we're allowed to have dual agencies. Some states completely forbid it. But to me, I work a lot with listings. I am always a seller's representative. I will never sign an agency disclosure when working with a buyer that is going to state that I represent them when I do have that listing and we're doing a deal. The buyer will always be aware that they can go into contract with that seller. I'll be as fair as possible with them, but my relationship, my duty is to that seller. And it is explicitly described in the agency disclosure that they sign. I will never put that I'm representing the buyer as well, ever. All right. Anything you guys want to add? No.
Ed? Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
I got the mower going off, so I don't want to.
No, it's fine. No, say it. No, that's a sticky one, That's a very, very sticky one.
I mean, it is a sticky one, because honestly, if you're an agent that actually, let's look at it this way, in the sense of the life of an agent, right? You come to the point you've done a lot of rentals. Now you're doing a lot of buyers. Now you become a listing agent. And all of a sudden now, all those buyers you were working with, wants you to be a listing agent, and now you have a new set of buyers that want to work with you, and now they want you to be the buyer's agent too for a home that you own. So it's like, it becomes to a point of like, I'm not going to be a dual agent. I can't, in this sense. I'm already representing one person. However, one thing's for certain is that what most people do and don't do in this sense is that they want to breeze by the fact of, oh my God, the seller wants me to represent them, and they fly through the information. They fly through the agency disclosure. They fly through the fact that it's not dual agency. They fly through it all without having to thoroughly go over it. And same thing with the buyer's agent too, in the sense that they'll fly because they say, yes, I want you to represent me.
But they don't understand. A lot of the times, agents feel that representation equals dollar amount.
Right. Exactly.
You can still get paid. You can basically give the understanding. Let's say if you're going to do a rental with the other agents, like whatever, the renter comes in, that you have the listing, the potential tenant can still understand that they will have to pay the real estate commission if they agree. Nobody's forcing them, right? And the seller and the landlord is also not being forced to take that tenant. They will pay the commission, but they have to have the understanding that the relationship is with the landlord when it comes to that agent. There won't be any representation. So it can be disclosed fully. And if they're not comfortable, you can always have one of your coworkers saying, here, we're going to split the commission, and you're going to represent that tenant, and I'm still going to have representation on my landlord. And yes, and if you're too greedy and you're like, I don't want to do this, well, too bad. But that's the way things are. Sometimes it's not about the dollar amount, it's about doing the right thing.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, dual agency it's a thing that most people don't practice enough on, and I think they should. And I always say, and I agree with you. There is this function there that's called dual agency with seller representative.
Yes.
Pretty much there's this checklist on that.
Yeah.
So I think people, part of our CEs, we should definitely go over that. We should definitely go over the fact of how to write it out, what it represents, and everything
explain
else like
it.
Explain it. I think people need to go over that because it's part of our test that we take as our license, and it's something that we need to practice and learn every single time. So,
I mean, we saw it yesterday with Agent Ted. If we're gonna go over agency and within the population of agents, how many of them really understand the duty of agency within our industry? How many? I don't think it's really well understood, and I don't think it's really well taught. And I think we need to have a little bit more emphasis sometimes on the legal matters. Unfortunately, it's not there.
I do see a question that says,
I was just about to bring that up.
No. Buyer agreement is one thing. We mean the agency disclosure. Yes.
Right.
And how, we're talking about representation. It doesn't have to be an exclusive buyer agreement. Agency covers different things. Like same thing. You should not have, if you're going to have an exclusive buyer agreement with a buyer and you have that listing and that buyer wants to buy that listing, you're going to have to get somebody else to help you working that buyer, because my advice, even though if it's disclosed, it's a very sticky on the legal end. It's a very, very sticky thing to have. You cannot represent two people. You never seen attorneys in criminal court representing the defendant and the person and the plaintiff. It never happened. Right?
Oh yeah.
So I'll be very, 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 very careful with agents. Yeah. Even if you have an agency disclosure, like an exclusive agreement with a buyer, and then you have that listing, I would make sure that I'll get that buyer to work with one of my coworkers, and then you can work something out on the commission payout. But I would be very, 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 very careful. Whether even if this buyer agreement is your family, I'll be very, very careful, especially in this day and age where everybody gets sued. So I would look up at what should I do right for the public versus how right is it for my pocket.
For sure. It's a double-edged sword. So you got to be careful.
Exactly. Right. Anyway, those are other matters in other days. We've had training with our MLS board where they came in and explained to us, what was the actual legal way from the Department of State to deal with those agency disclosures, regardless of how employed or not you are by the consumer, whether you have an exclusive agreement, because it has to be very sticky. So on this, I'll be very, very careful. I am not an attorney, but I'm saying just go back to your board, go back to your legal department, and make sure you get the correct information. And those laws change at the Department of State. I've seen over the years how. Right. Go ahead.
But I mean, and I agree. I'm sorry to cut you off, but yes, lawyers in this case, but we have to agree on the fact of exclusive agreement as to right to sell with the listings and also to buy with the buyers. So these are contracts that we do.
Mm-hmm.
Even leases that we actually help.
The contract, yeah.
Right, is a contract. So anything and this is how I treat it too, in the sense that nothing should ever be blank on any of those contracts.
Oof.
It's like nothing should be blank. If it needs an NA, put an NA on it. I mean, it's just something there.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, regardless of the terms of the contract, whether it's a day to a year or 6 years, it's still going to be there. And both the parties, or all three parties, are actually signing that. And when I mean all three parties, it's pretty much the buyers and sellers, and then also your name is on that. So you want to make sure that it's actually an informational thing that is filled out and filled out correctly.
So we're talking about on number 8 here, acting like a lawyer. So first of all, giving legal advice on anything at all is a big no-no. An agent, this is where agent gets the most in trouble with, where they give advice that is outside of the scope of their licensing. And then we do have agreements that the board or board of realtors or boards of whatever MLS boards have prepared with their legal department. And be very careful when filling those out. Yes, you should not leave anything blank, especially when it comes to dates and terms. Right?
No, I agree. And as far as look, you said it, acting like a lawyer. I can't tell you how many times I've been at a showing and you see these agents, and I know and I understand you're trying to do well by your client. But I don't even care. Like, look, I got a background in plumbing. I can tell if I see something a bit off or not off. But regardless of the matter, I'm not mentioning that because technically that's not in my duty. You understand?
But you can recommend a plumber. That's what
I can recommend.
do.
Exactly. I could recommend somebody. Like if they ask me, hey, what do you think about this? Like, is this normal? Honestly, I'm not sure. I could recommend the plumber so that they can go check it out. Now, I might have the answer to it, but the last thing I want to do is put myself in a sticky situation because I tell you, I had this one guy and he was like, yeah, the electrical box and this should be like that. And I'm just like, and I'm looking at him like, okay, man, because what's going to happen? It happens across the board. How many times do we end up saying, oh, but so-and-so said this, but so-and-so said that? And the last thing you want to do is be so-and-so. All right. So let them figure it out. If there's an issue, okay, yeah, sure. I can get somebody for you. You know what I mean? Or whatever the case might be,
No, that's what you should do. Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Let's not play. I mean, those are like very hard topic. 10, not meeting license requirement. What do you mean by that? If your license, I've seen people that let their license expire by not taking the CE, the continuing education requirements in order to renew their license, and that are still out there practicing real estate, entering into deals. Not only you cannot get paid if you don't have a license, but you're putting your own, whatever the potential license that you could have renewed at risk. So those are like illegal things to do. If we have a license, we can, like, you cannot drive without a license. You get in trouble, like a driver's license. So same thing, you cannot practice real estate without a license. License to sell. All right. That's it. Nobody has anything to say on this one because it's true, but it happens a lot. Okay, and then the fair housing violations.
Yeah, that's big. All right.
That's big.
At the end of the day, read the fair housing violations. And honestly, I've seen it across the board here where people just end up not realizing what they're saying, right? And it happens a lot. Unfortunately, I see it happen a lot when you're dealing with landlords and tenants.
Yeah.
Right. That's where I see it a lot. And unfortunately, some of us as agents should be taking the high road. But I literally can't tell you how many times that's happened, right? Like I was dealing with somebody the other day and she flat off the bat was already turning it down. And I'm like, how are you turning this down? And she's like, oh, it's not me, it's the seller, it's the landlord. And I'm like, I'm like, I haven't even presented any documentation to you. How are you automatically turning this down? And that right there is not right. And it's not fair at all.
So in New York City, like we have different protected class, the civil rights of 1866 gives you basically race and color. After that, in 1968, which is also a federal law, they added family status, handicap, disability, national origin, religion, sex, and then a couple of exceptions, whatever, on different matters. But in New York State, they added a whole bunch of stuff. That's going to go with lawful source of income is the latest one, which is the biggest one. People on Social Security, are a protected class. You cannot turn them down. It is a lawful source of income. Okay. Whether they're married or not has nothing to do with being qualified for a purchase or for a rental. Military status, also a protected class. Whatever people do in their bedroom is nobody's business and should not be status of discrimination.
Unless you could hear them. Unless you can hear them in the apartment below. Unless
that's different. That's a different thing. But whatever they do and whomever they love is nobody's concern.
I know.
Right? And status as a victim of domestic violence is also a protected class, especially if you had to be taken away from your home and put and being protected into. Some people have to go into shelters, and a lot of sellers and landlords do not understand that and discriminate upon just because of their lack of understanding and education on the matter. And then New York City has all those classes, everything, lawful occupation. Okay. You can have an occupation as you can be like a trust fund baby. That's a lawful occupation. Okay. You could be whatever partnership status, whatever it's a life partner or business partner. This should not interfere with any purchase. Nobody has to have the right to ask you, is that your husband? Is that your fiance? What is this? Your business partner? If we are associating with a person to buy or rent a property, the nature of the partnership is nobody's concern, right? And then in New York City, the citizenship status is also nobody's concern. Some people were trying to say that, oh yeah, we can get away with this. No, you can't anymore. All right, and this is it. So if you guys want to,
yeah, I was just about to ask you because I mean, honestly, they may see this, they may not see this, but I think we should put the link as to how they could find this because for sure, I feel like we always need to update ourselves in this stuff, and it becomes to a point that you know some of these laws or some of these new things that we see here is actually you know whether you see the news and don't see the news. You should always actually have a good update as to what are the classes every single time.
So I am going to...
Because I've been in this industry for about 10 years, and there's some new ones that I don't remember seeing as part of my test.
No, this is... Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you gotta... Yes, I know. So those last two that I noted, I'm going to post this here. This is for New York City. And this is their fair housing for renters with the protected class. I can put in on the federal level other things. I mean, there are so many things you can.
There's about 4 of them in here that was not part of my test.
And since 2019, they've been added. 2019, 2020, they've been adding some. Yes. Yeah,
it's actually very important for these folks to learn that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is there a protected class? Sorry, my Siri's going off. Is there a protected class for the vaccinated and the unvaccinated?
No.
All right. Cool.
But I can share also this document, this little slide, you know, with everybody, so you guys can get it as well. Because this was given by I think it's the either New York State or New York City. I'll send out more links so you guys can have it, and just beware. You see, like the new stuff during COVID and right before COVID, a lot of things changed, and a lot of us have not. We've had the lawful source of occupation, lawful source of income training, but the alienage and all that, this is fairly recent as well, and we need to be updated on that. You know, I like to keep up, especially if I'm hearing stuff from attorneys. Sometimes they just say, "Oh, the law just changed," and I'm like, I'm going away and type away and see what changed, new rules, new laws, new this, new that. Yeah, I have a background, you know, before coming to America, I was in law school, so it's just like a natural thing for me, right?
Nice. I didn't know that.
But definitely, yeah. You didn't know? Okay.
Did not know that.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't make a good lawyer because I was bored out of my mind in that. Yes.
Some people tell
All
me
right.
that I had a client that told me that I would make a good attorney, and I was like,
Yeah.
really?
Say hi to everybody.
Hello,
Hi,
everybody.
that's Hamlet.
Yo,
Hamlet.
I'm in the office and everybody comes by. It's cute. Anyway, so I think we're at the end of our shows. It's almost an hour. We covered a lot of ground, and I'm really, really glad. And as always, you guys are phenomenal, right? I again want to thank Israel for his super analytical mind that I don't have, and he could put things together in a way that I could never do. He's like so precise, so detailed, and he doesn't miss anything. Like I would miss everything, Ed.
Oh, thank you.
No. Let's say, what? Let's praise where praise is due. We all know you're like, look at that, Abdel. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Abdel.
And Ed for this great spirit, these great emotions, and it's like the empathy that I like he has. So thank you for that.
Wherever I can provide some assistance, I'm there.
Yes. Okay, guys. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Kika.
What about you, Gigi? You gotta say something for yourself, no? Or no, that's our job, right? No,
that's our job, right?
We gotta shout you out, Gigi, because even though you claim to not have the empathy that I have, you do. Somewhere deep down inside, you do. You do have it. Whether you say yes or no, I don't care what you say, because I've seen this side of you. And I do have to give it to you on that. You know what I mean? But what I gotta say most is your directness, your sense
That's
of
for
not
sure.
really,
That's for sure.
not really giving a shoot. All right.
Well, it's cool. It's a post-menopause. It's a post-menopausal condition, but it's true. It's a curse and it's a blessing. It's not everybody's cup of tea. And for some reason, I struggle thinking maybe I should get softer. And you know what? I'm at the point in my life. I'm 6 months away from being
New York
58.
City.
I know, 6 months away from being 58, and it really that syndrome is just there. And you know what? And I'm not gonna stress myself over who I am. I am who I am. I guess I'll make an effort to not offend anyone, but in certain situations, I'll just tell you how it is.
Well, one thing I want to say really quick is that I know you and I tend to bump heads, but I know that everything that you but everything that you say, I always listen and I love what you say. Okay, so I know that we tend to, certain things I become very analytical with.
Yeah. But I think it's we bump head in the form, but in the essence, we don't bump head.
Right.
We bump head in the form, like on like on the little, which is not important.
On the little
really.
thing, which is fine, exactly. But it's the thing that we always have to each other, where we always challenge each other. We always make each other to the point of actually listening to what we want to say to each other, and just make it happen. So that's why I love, thank you for making me always challenge each other to our next level.
Oh, we challenge each other, that's for sure. That's a good thing.
That is a good thing, and that's the reason why we complement each other so well.
Yep,
that's it.
We're all different. Guys, imagine if we were the same. That would be.
Oh my goodness. I would love you guys even more if you were analytical. No, I'm kidding.
I knew it. I
know. You know what? This is it for this session. Next week, we promise you something of a little lighter nature, something that could also be informational, but not as heavy. And we might bring, I want to bring back Seiko, and I want to bring back like other great people, and sometimes a surprise guest for everybody, just for the hell of it, just to spice things up.
I mean, we're basically closing out the year at this point.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So make sure that we'll probably put something light together, but don't let off the gas pedal. That's what I would say. All right, you guys got to keep on trucking. All right, while people are taking their days off, make sure you are on the gas pedal. Hyper beam focus. Hyper beam.
And if any of you guys, anybody out there has a question, especially with the late business planning we did, please don't hesitate to contact us. Israel will be very happy to go back over the formulas Ed will like re-strengthen that, like, you know, like fixed mindset with growth mindset. And I will tell you what, get out of your out of your and get working
together, right? Yo, who's our MVP today? Who's our MVP?
Oh my God.
Oh, we gotta go on.
We got a good crowd.
Let's give it to Let's give it to Elena. Let's give it to Elena. Ellen, I know. Let's give it to Elena.
It's Elena.
Thank you, guys. Okay.
Thank you.
I love it. We are ready for 2023. Let's go.
Yes, we are.
Let's go.
All right. Thank you so
I don't
much.
know who that is. Facebook. Oh, no, that's Patricia. Hey, it's Patricia.
Okay. All right.
Go, Patricia. Thank you.
Patricia put a lot of posts as well, man. But thank you. Thank you for participating, everybody.
No
we
problem.
appreciate y'all.
Enjoy
your weekend.
Put back the music or what is it?
Here we go.
Chill music. Lo-fi.
Yeah.
There you go.
And don't forget, this weekend is open house weekend. So make sure you go out there and show all these agents some love. And let's make some deals together, man. It's the end of the year. It's the end of the year. And let's get these things under contract. The interest rate went down. So call those buyers back. See if they requalify. All right, let's make some deals. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Adios.
Thanks for tuning in.